Hi everyone, in this video we are going to set up an AWS EC2 instance for Windows with a key pair. So for that we are going to launch our AWS Academy Learner Lab here, and then we click on modules, and then we click on launch AWS Academy Learner Lab, and then it is launching this lab for us, this interface which will get ready in few moments. It depends, it can take different time for different computers, different timings. So after this you can see AWS, this is in red in color. We have to click on start lab, and yes guys, you have to keep an eye on the credit you have. So out of $50, for example, I have already spent 5.2. so yes, click on start lab here. It will again also take some time, and we will be waiting until this yellow turns into green in color. Okay, now finally you can see this is green, and now we can simply click on this AWS here. It will launch this AWS management console for us, where we will be launching an EC2 instance. Yes, so this is loading, and once this is ready you can go in the search bar here on the top and type EC2 service, which we'll be using today. So EC2, and then click here EC2, and now the options for launching an EC2 instance you can see here. But one thing is that we will be creating a key pair for our Windows machine, for which we'll be using today. So for that, very first thing is that we are going to create a key pair which will be used to access this Windows machine once this is ready. So for that, we go on the left hand side, we have here network and security. Click on key pairs, click the key pairs, and then on the right hand side we have create key pair. We click that, and here we need to give any name for that key pair. So for example, today we are going to give it a name like simply key, right? Key. And then we have here the RSA's algorithm which will be used, and then this is the key file format which we leave as it is, and then we simply click on this create key pair. And when we click this create key pair, it will be downloading a file on our host machine, on our own machine, and we need to keep that file with us. So we click on create key pair, and you can see it shows that key.pem file has been downloaded, which is actually in my downloads folder, which will be used at the end. And now you can see here we have already some other keys, but our key which we just created has the name key. Remember this, we will be using it today. And there are other keys, and we might have created at some other instances, but yes, we will be using this key. Yeah. After this, we have to launch an EC2 instance. We click on this again, EC2 instance. You can see on the top left here, or you can again search as well here. We already have this EC2 instance. We click there, and then we click launch instance. And after launching this instance, let's say we need to give this this Windows machine which we are creating now a name. So let's say we are giving it a name, simply say Windows, right? And then maybe let's say Windows 1. If there are other names, if I have some other instances with similar names, so I'm giving it a name Windows 1, and then we are going to select here Windows. Yes, you can see here, and then we are selecting Windows machine image, which is actually Microsoft Windows Server. We can have many other options as well. So we are selecting this free tier eligible. We simply click this one, and yeah, so I mean we are not making any change here. So whatever is by default is available here, Windows, and then this Windows Server 2025, and then instance type, that what hardware we are selecting. So we can actually click here, we can make changes here as well, but let's say we are happy with T3 micro. We click there, and this is important. This is the key pair which you can use to securely connect to our instance. So this is the instance we are creating, and at one point in time we need to access that instance. For that we have to specify that which key pair we'll be using. So yes, we will be using the key pair which we created just few moments before. So that is actually key. We click that key, and then rest of the things we keep as it is. So it will be creating a security group, and in that there will be a rule that allow RDP traffic from anywhere. So yes, we will be using RDP, remote desktop protocol. So that is something we'll be using to connect with our instance, and this is the rule which will allow us to do this. And then for storage, yes, we are selecting this by default storage what we have here, and then rest of the things we keep them as it is. Yeah. And then we click on launch instance on the right hand side here, and now it will start launching that instance for us, and this may take some time in launching. So this is successfully initiated a launch of instance. So now we again go here on click on instances. You can see on the top here. So we want to see all the instances which we have created in this VPC. So yes, this is the Windows which just we created. You can see this is Windows 1. This is the Windows which we created, and there is one other Windows machine which is actually in the state of terminated. Sorry. So that is terminated, but this is the Windows instance which we just created, and it shows running. And now here we have to wait the status check. So status check is initializing. It will be checking all the relevant status for this Windows machine or Windows instance which we just created. And it may take some time. It may take 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes as well, but this depends. Just we need to keep an eye on this status check, and so it will actually show us if there is any issue with the instance, and we can only access it once we have all the status check. Okay, now you can see it says 3 out of 3 check pass. This shows in green, and now our instance is ready. And now we will try to access this instance which has Windows operating system. And now to access it, we simply click on this instance ID here, and it will show us the instance summary. And in this instance summary, it will also show us the public IPv4 address, and it will also show the public DNS. So using public DNS, we will access this Windows instance from our host machine. And from our computer, we have to search for RDP. So we can go here and we can search for RDP, that is remote desktop connection. We simply click there, and now this RDP connection shows some option that we have to specify the computer. So for that we can use the IP address here. This is IP address, or we can use this public DNS. I hope you can see on the right hand side public DNS. So now we are going to copy this here. You can see we click there, copy public DNS to clipboard. We click there, this is copied. We go back to our RDP here, and then we have to paste this name here. So Control V, I paste it here, and then we have, let's say, more option here. We are not going to save anything, so we have this, and then it's asking for the username. Username will always be the administrator, ADMINISTRATOR. Administrator is the username for all Windows operating system or Windows instances. Okay, so we specified the username, that is administrator, and then we press enter, and now it's connecting to the Windows instance and asking for password. So now where is the password? So now to find the password which we have to somehow figure it out. So for that we have to click on action here, and then click on security, click on get Windows password, click there. And when you have this Windows, you still see you don't have any password, but it's giving you some option to upload your private key. So remember, when you were creating the key pair, we downloaded a file, and that file should be somewhere on your computer, and mostly it will be in your downloads folder. So we click on this upload private key file, and then we give it the location. So in my case, for example, this is in the downloads folder. So in the downloads folder, this is the key, this is the file which I downloaded. I click there and then say open it, and then I have to click on decrypt password. It will decrypt the password, and this is the password which has been decrypted for us. So we simply click here. It will actually copy that password to clipboard, and then we click OK. We go back to RDP here, and then we paste that password. So Control V and say OK, and now this is trying to connect with the Windows instance available in the cloud, and here we simply say yes. So we have to trust this certificate. Click yes, and now it's connecting, and yes, this is connected. So now we can see for the first time the Windows machines, the Windows instance which we actually set up in the cloud, and it may take some time because Windows is getting ready for the first time. And then yes, we will have Windows instance which we just created in AWS, and we can see what we have in that. You can see this personalized setting, and you might have seen this many times when you start Windows for the first time. Yes, so congratulations, this Windows is ready for us to use in the cloud, and still it is getting ready because we also should be able to see here the taskbar. Yes, the taskbar is also ready here. You can see, you can click on start. Yeah, so maybe if we want to create any, let's say any file, any folder, of course we can use this instance as our regular Windows machine. And yes, we can create new, let's say folder, shortcut, anything we like, we can do it. And let's say if you are going to shut down, we can also shut it down as well. For example, this Windows machine, we going to shut it down. So shut down here. Now this is in going to shut down, and then maybe we can minimize this, and we will have same screen again which we have here. So yeah, our remote desktop session has ended. Yes, okay. And if you want to connect with that instance again, we have this setting. So we don't want to connect with that Windows instance again. That's it. We wanted to experiment with it, and now you can see this Windows 1 instance is running. And if we want, and we've actually, this is a good practice for us as well, in the especially in the lab environment. If we don't need Windows instance, we can simply go to instance state, and we can say terminate or delete instance. Click there and say terminate, and after that it says a successfully initiated termination of this. So you can see this is showing shutting down, and it will be terminated only when we have this message here. So yes, now I can see we have same message here. It means this instance of Windows has also been terminated. And so this was the lab which we wanted to do in this video. And please don't forget to end this lab as well, because in this case you will be saving your time, you will be saving yeah, your credit as well. So yes, you have to click on this end lab here. Yes, and yeah, that's it. So thank you for joining. We actually created, or we actually set up an AWS EC2 instance for Windows with key pair in this video, and I hope this might be helpful for some of you. And thank you very much for time. Hope to see you in some other video. Thanks.